Hello, YouTube coin community. It's me, Robert, with Cointalk. Ho! How's everybody doing? I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Hello, Ronald Harris, Florida Lena, my beautiful wife, freaking awesome, Frank Mons, Sticks for Fire, Bo Ridley, and everybody else. There we go. Sorry, I forgot to mute my one site. However, today we're going to do a podcast, and it's going to be the panel is going to discuss picking their favorite coin series, and we've also got a guest. Somebody out there has got something that they need to mute, uh, and maybe it's me even. I don't know, but let's take. There we go. Okay, I think it was me. Okay, I got it. Okay, first off, let's get to the news, guys. We're going to take, and Brad Karloff is going to take and give us the news out in the coin business. So, hey, Brad, take it away, Brad.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the show. Coin shows coming up the 24th through the 26th, the South Carolina Numismatic Association annual show in Greenville, South Carolina. On the 25th and 26th only, the Citrus County Coin Club Coins, Stamp and Currency Expo in Crystal River, Florida, and the Western Slope Coin Club show in Grand Junction, Colorado. On the 26th only, the Muskegon Coin Show, New Haven, Michigan, the Litchfield Lions first annual coin, currency, and knife show in Litchfield, Kentucky, and the Ocean County Coin Club in Point Pleasant Beach, New Jersey. On the 27th, the Elgin Coin Club show in, of course, Elgin, Illinois. The Steve Middleton Memorial Coin Show, Hackenstown, New Jersey. The Ohio Coin and Collectible Show in Westlake, Ohio. Also on the 27th, the Palm Beach Coin Club show in Green Acres, Florida. Old Bridge Coin and Currency and Collectible show in Old Bridge, New Jersey. The North Attleboro Monthly Coin and Collectible show in, of course, North Attleboro, Massachusetts. And the Trevios Coin Show in Trevios, Pennsylvania. The latest coins missing in action, according to Doug Davis at Numismatic Crimes. FedEx shipment from Texas to Florida, missing 31 gold coins, mostly NGC 1/10 ounce Eagles. The USPS Nevada to New York shipment, a 91 CC dollar in PC 62 and an SVDB in NGC fine 15. Also UPS Virginia to California, 75 S20 cent piece CAC VG10, a 50D $5 CAC VF30, a 93S dollar CAC VG8, a 55 double die cent CAC AU55, a 47 seated Liberty dollar CAC 58, and a 95 dollar CAC XF40. Also lost by the USPS, California to Florida, 79S $20 gold piece, NGC 63 plus proof-like, a $17.95 in N55, an 1808 $5 in NGC 64, a 2820 in NGC 67 plus, a 27S NGC $66, and last but of course not least, a 1936 Walking Liberty $half NGC Proof 68. Some of these coins are easy to spot. The certification numbers are on file with Doug Davis at Numismatic Crimes. And if you see any suspect coins, you can check in and see if they're on the list. Back to you, Robert. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. Gold, just before I came on, was at $27.35. Welcome to the roller coaster. Silver, $33.60. And platinum, $10.24. Now we're back to Robert.
Okay, Brad. Yeah, I was about to interrupt. Say, come on now, Brad. Okay, everybody. First off, I'd like to take in somewhere. I don't know. Nope, it's that way. I can never tell on these cameras, but I'd like to introduce David the Bloom, guys. There you go, Frank. I know you talked to David quite a bit. You two freaking awesome, and Paulie Boo. So good to see you guys. But we got David here. He's going to take and come in and share with us, along with everybody else, how they went about picking their the coin series that they enjoy in the hobby. However, right here's our panel today. We're missing a few, but that's okay. We're picking up a few as well. Just do me a favor and just give a nice welcome to David and yeah.
Welcome, David.
Hi, David. Welcome.
Thank
Good
you,
afternoon.
everyone.
Okay, welcome, David. And I'm going to give David the channel to where he can take, and he's going to start this off. As soon as we're done with that, I think, B, we're going to go to you next. So you'll be no. I'm going to go to Kevin only because I need to split Kevin and Nick up because of what they collect, and I want to hear them both. But we're going to start with David. So, David, take it away.
Good afternoon, everybody. Pleasure to be here. I have a couple different series. When I first started collecting when I was a little guy, I actually I found my first Lincoln Cent book. It's a folder, and this is the original. And hope to give this to my grandson soon, as he's becoming a coin collector. And the reason I started in Lincoln Cents is availability. My parents, we didn't have a lot when I was a young buck, and they could get me rolls of pennies, and I would search for through those for hours. Since then, I've changed, and now we're looking. Brad, you probably recognize this book. The Benji half dollar. Um, I really enjoy this series. Um, to be honest, I also dabble in everything else. I'm kind of like Kevin. I'm a coinaholic, and I need to admit it. I also have many other series, and the reason I switched to Benji's is I had a paper route, and a lot of the people at that time, you'd collect every week, and they'd give me 50-cent pieces in payment. Back then, Brad, there were newspapers, and they would pay me every week, and a lot of times it would be with a Benji. So that's how I got started into silver, and right now the Benji's one of my favorites. So Soup, if you're out there, I know that you're going to enjoy that. So that's what I've got for right now.
Okay, thank you very much, David. I appreciate it. Let's see. I don't remember who I said I was going to go to next, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Kevin, and I want to break up Kevin and Nick because, like I said, I believe they're both doing the same series. And again, guys, all we're discussing is how we come about picking a coin series that we enjoyed. Pay attention to it. Maybe you'll figure out a way of something for you to collect. So, Kevin, take it away.
All right. Well, hey, great being here as always. But my favorite coin series, I love half dollars for one. They are nice, they're large, you can see them for a mile. Plus, they aren't near as expensive as those Morgan dollars. Just personal opinion. So I started with the Kennedys, those were great. Started with the Franklins, those were good. I got myself to the Walking Liberty half dollars, and literally I fell in love. I swear I want to create a Alfred Wyman society for appreciating the different coins and metals that he has brought, because the Walking Liberty is just the epitome of an American coin. And no two things about it. It is just, there is a reason why they use it for the obverse of the American Silver Eagle. And that is why my favorite series is the Walking Liberty. Take it away, Robert. Robert, you're on mute.
Unmute yourself, Robert. Robert, you're muted.
You're on mute.
Okay, sorry about that.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying. Sorry, guys. My producer's not here. He had to work today, and that's why we are not on Rumble. We're only here. So I apologize. But Blue Moonbeam, we're going to take and send it over to you. So, Blue, let us know. Here we go.
Okay, I chose the peace dollar because I love it, and mostly because it wasn't made for very long, and it's history. You know, you guys know I like the history part of it, and it's very interesting about what went on at that time and how there's like they came out with the high relief first, and they just decided against it like pretty soon after they came out with it, and then they came out with the low relief. They also had a medium relief, but it's pretty involved to discuss it. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Well, I can show you one of mine. I have several of them. Here's one. Here's a 1922, beautiful 1922. Here you go. And then here's a 1923. But I basically didn't start collecting these until a few years ago, because all I had was, pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and that kind of stuff. And I didn't really have any really nice peace dollars. So, and I remember I got one from Melissa. I remember her. She was the first one I got a peace dollar from, and I've been collecting them ever since. What's really interesting about the peace dollar is the Pittman Act, and the guy that designed it is both really interesting stories. I didn't really do enough research on the Pittman Act, but it had something to do with silver, and so it was like that. But yeah, it's my favorite coin. It's beautiful, and there's some that are very rare and worth a lot of money, but it doesn't seem like too many people have them. The high relief, the first year, the high relief, those are worth quite a bit. And I watched your video, Robert, on Cointalk. I watched the video that Dustin made. It was interesting. But yeah, it's my favorite coin, the peace dollar. I don't know what else to say unless you guys have any questions or anything like that. It's my favorite. Back to you, Robert.
Okay, thank you, B. Not certain which video you're talking about. We got 130 some, but I'm not certain which one you're talking about, but that's okay. We'll take and we can discuss that a little later. I'm keeping track of everything that you guys are saying that you collect, because it's going to be part of my presentation when we get to it. However, Nick, I'm coming to you next, so you get to tell us about your what you like collecting. So, Nick, take it away.
I like the Walking Liberty. I I mean, it's eye appeal. I love the Liberty, and I like the flag draped over her, and then of course I love the eagle on the back because of all the detail. I just think it's one of the prettiest coins, and it's attainable. You could still get them in great condition, and they don't have to be very expensive. It's a series that you can collect and complete the entire series. So it was just something that from my very beginning, I just looked at and just thought it was just a beautiful coin. That's it.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
now go back and make her explain what, more than that. Come on.
Well, what do you want to know?
Well, where did you see your first Walking Liberty $50? Tell us about that.
I saw it in a book.
When's the first time you saw a real one?
Oh gosh, I don't remember that. I don't remember. I think it was at my local coin store, and
it had to be this like wow moment.
It was a wow moment because I was like, oh, because I got one in my hand, so I can demonstrate. I was like, oh, that's pretty.
There you go.
And then of course I do like the ASCs, but the eagle on the back, look at the detail. It's just a beautiful coin.
It's like Patriots football. It's complimentary.
Huh? What?
What? You don't know complimentary football? The offense and the defense are about the same. You have a coin that each the obverse and the reverse complements each other.
Oh, well, I mean, I get that, but I just didn't know how that kind of compared with football.
I'm just trying to help you out. I'm just trying to help you out, kid.
Okay.
Yes, it is a beautiful coin, and there was an aha moment at the local coin store, and my guy, he's like 89 years old, and he was like, showing. I did not like the peace dollar. Sorry, Blue Moon. Felt like there's spikes coming out of her head with like snakes coming out of her head, but.
Okay. By the way, if you
It's a tiara.
If you guys mute yourself, I cannot unmute you. Just so you know.
Thanks, Robert. But yeah, Nick, it's a tiara. So.
Well, I never looked at it that way. I just looked at it as spikes that just look like they're coming out of her head, like Medusa, like crazy spikes.
Well, it's Lady Liberty.
Well, Lady Liberty is prettier on the walker.
Well, Brad, how would you like to tell us about what you started collecting and how you took it, how you picked it? And after we're done, guys, we will accept questions from everybody. If you have a question for any individual, do like we say, put a question mark inside of it, asking a question, and you can direct it to any one of us. That's fine. But I want to finish off this here. Let's get these here all finished. And we'll figure out why Brad or what series Brad has picked and why. So, Brad, you get to start away. Go for it.
Well, like Kevin, I'm a coinaholic. And like David, I started with Lincoln Cents also. And I started with the same kind of album that he did and graduated and started doing Jefferson Nickels, which was the first collection I ever completed was Jefferson Nickels. And got to working at the shop part-time in the mid-70s and decided at that point putting together a 19th century proof typeset was probably something I wanted to try to do. So I got partway into that. And then lo and behold, one day, somebody came in with his book and started looking at bust $50. And they were studying them very closely. And I went, okay, what's going on here? And I asked some questions and they showed me their book and explained it to me about how the dies were all handmade. And if you study very closely, you can identify which dies made your coin. Well, that sounded pretty interesting. So I got a little deeper into it, went out and bought a book and decided that was pretty cool. And it was something I could specialize in and do for a long period of time, because at that time, what I think there were 445 known dye marriages. So I thought finding 445 different dye marriages of bust half dollars is going to take a long time. So I started collecting them, and my budget only allowed for VF coins. And so I started picking through and finding VF coins that I liked and identifying the dye marriages, and it kind of grew. And a little bit later in life, I could afford a little nicer coin. So I started specializing in XFs, and that kind of carried me through. And then, some years later, I was at a coin show and I got shut out. I found no new half dollars that I needed for my set. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? And the guy in front of me had a beautiful AU bust half dime. So it was just a mini bust half dollar. So I bought that and started my half dime collection by dime marriages. And then it graduated into dimes and quarters. And I just kept going and going and going and doing all of the series by dime marriages. And then one day I happened to be talking to a guy and saw an 8 reale. And I thought, didn't they melt these things down to make bust halves? So I did some research into that. And I thought, all right, maybe as a sideline, I'll collect Spanish colonial silver, because it's the grandfather of, or grandmothers, or however you want to look at it, of our coins, because we had no silver mine on the East Coast. And we had to wait till the 1870s to have our own silver mines that produced any appreciable amount of silver. So we were melting down a lot of the other coins that came into the banks and got transferred up to the Bank of the United States. Then they deposited them with the U.S. Mint and got U.S. coins back in exchange. So I got interested in those. So I collect a little bit of everything. Like I say, I am a coinaholic, but my number one love is bust coins by dye marriage. And then I've expanded into a fairly significant collection of Spanish colonial silver from only 2 mints. I don't want to do everything. So I did just Mexico City Mint and Potosí, which was in Peru at the time. It's in Bolivia now. Of course, the mountain that eats men, the mountain of silver there in Potosí, I've talked about that before. So those are just a few of the things. And then every now and then I just pick up something out of the blue because I like it. I have a box of coins that I call my talk box. They all have different stories that go with them. So I can go out to a school, a civic organization, or someplace and take coins out of the box, show them to the people there, and tell stories that wrap around the coins. So that's what I do for fun. Robert, I guess it's back to you.
Okay, everybody, there we go. Thank you. Let's see here. I think what I'm going to do is I will bring everybody back up for a moment. Bear with me, everybody. There we go. And the only one, okay, yeah. I'll bring everybody up for a moment, and then I'm going to I'll do mine here in just a second. I just wanted to remind everybody that you can direct your questions to each and every one of us. I've been watching in the sidelines there, and I've seen Blue Moon be answering some questions, everybody answering some questions, but that's great. I have no problem with that. But if you guys want to wait until we're done with this here, which it'll be shortly because I'm going to be done in just 1 second here, but I'll give you why I do it. So anybody here got anything they want to say on the panel right now before I tell my story? All right. No, nobody, huh?
What's the tale, Robert?
Well, okay, let's do it then. Here we go, everybody. I'll tell you what, I'll let you guys mute yourselves. Whoever knows how to, that's fine. But for me, I could have picked from 2 different things. I love the Mercury dimes, but that would have been a short one. I just like it because, I don't know, I thought they're beautiful, sort of kind of what Nick was saying, but I'd have to go into a little bit of that. But what I really, really enjoy, guys, is varieties, as you all know, which encompasses everything. I mean, I was listening to David when he was talking about, him and Soup and how they enjoyed the Franklin series. And what's the first thing that come to my mind? Well, two things, actually. One was the 1956 proof Type 1 reverse, which was a transitional year, but it's a variety on the Franklin half dollars. And then I thought of the 1962 with the letter D on the bell on a proof coin. And I thought of my good friend Brian Rains, who discovered it. Me and him, we talked, but that's what came to mind. And then I took in Kevin. He starts talking about how he likes the Walking Liberty half dollars. Beautiful set, beautiful series. First thing came to my mind, Kevin, on yours was a 1936 FS 101, which is a double die obverse. There's only about 3 known to exist that I can verify. I say that I can verify because I'm the one who verified it for the Cherry Picker's Guide, and somebody did a no. They took it, they changed my numbers. However, it's about a $16,000 coin. Then we moved on, and we had Blue Moon B. She starts talking about the peace dollars, and I'm like, yeah, I love the peace dollars. She spoke on the high relief 21 and the different other things. The first thing came to my mind is the 1934 D. You got VAM 3, VAM 4. They're both double die obverses. The VAM 4 is the scarcer one, but that's what comes to my mind. That's how I think of coins. Brad, now wait, let me go first, finish off with Nick. I have to finish with Nick because she also talked about the walkers. When she talked about the walkers, my first thought, Nick should be able to tell us, and that was the 1946 double die reverse, because me and her talked about it several times. She knows I own a very nice Mint State 65 example, and I know I just know she likes it. She's talked about it many times. So, with that, but then, like I say, we got to Brad, and now Brad's a little more complicated because the bus theories, I know Brad. I've known him for a few decades. You ain't got to sympathize with me. It's okay, guys. I've been able to handle it. I'm very strong. I got broad shoulders. You have to if you're going to be Brad's friend. But he was talking about the Cap series, and now he would have to correct me on this one because I'm not positive, but I believe, and I don't remember which one it is, Brad, but I want to say at 1826 with the die clash. And Brad, I'm going to bring you up because I want you to correct me. Which one is it that you showed me that's only like 2 or 3 known to exist and you'd love to have one? You ain't got it? It's a die clash obverse.
Oh, it's not. No, not a die clash. It's an 1825 half dollar with a vertical die crack between the 8 and the 2 and the date. And there's about, 6 to 8 of them now.
Okay, thank you. I knew it was something like that, but I know it's very scarce. He showed it to me. He said, if you ever find one, boom, it's yours. I'll take it. He says, I'll buy it from you no matter what. Just get it. So, but here again, this is how I think. Now, how did I get into that? I took, when I was a young person in my 20s, I had bought some coins from a dealer, and I needed some money, and I went back and I had to sell the coins pretty quick. Back then, I didn't know the business, didn't understand it. Hell, I didn't know business, period. I really hadn't had a business myself for any length of time. I was young. And I thought I was being taken advantage of because the dealer, today, I would say it was a totally fair deal. But he paid me one price. I took it back, and I needed that money, the same amount I thought I was going to get, not thinking that he has every right to make some money. And I took, and so I had a misunderstanding, a misconception. It was my fault. But I took and I got upset about it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to learn something in this hobby to where I'm going to take advantage of the coin dealers. And I did it out of spite. And I was angry about it. For many, many years, I absolutely took, and I was able to do just that. I mean, if you want to call it take advantage, and that is I would go to dealers' shops and or to a coin show, and I would cherry pick people. I found out I went to a coin dealer And I thought I had a gazillion dollars in my hands, which was 1969S. I thought they were all double dies. I thought I was rich. Well, they were all machine doubling. But the dealer was nice enough. He says, here, buy that book right over there on the counter. At the time, it was 1995 for a cherry picker's guide. He said, you get those coins, bring them back to me, and I'll buy them from you. And I said, okay. I said, that's what I'll do. So I got that book. I started studying it, and I started finding them. It took me a couple of years to find my first one. I will say that. But after I found my first one, I took, and it was like the floodgates opened, and I have taken and I have found a considerable amount of varieties and errors. In fact, I've discovered probably 24 new varieties myself. Also, I took and probably 15 years ago, my life changed and I stopped being as resentful, let's put it that way. And I started helping people. I started wanting to teach people what I knew, the things that I knew. I became a lifetime member of the Cincinnati Numismatists. It's our local coin club. And we shared a lot of information there, and I found other people that felt like me, and I found a lot of people that were interested in some of the stuff that I was interested in, and we did a lot of talking. Then I started setting up at shows and selling some of my goods, which they sold fine. And here again, I found that I had more fun telling people about varieties and errors than, almost as much fun as it was finding them. Dustin Morgan, he took and he got a hold of me and asked me if I would be a partner with him on Cointalk right here. And I took and I told him, I said, no. I said, I don't want to be your partner. I said, if you want to be the boss, I had my own construction company. I said, if you want to be the boss, I said, I'll be more than happy to help you any way I can. I said, but I don't want it all. I said, if you make it a 60-40, I get 40, you get 60. I said, I'll do that and I'll help you anywhere I can. I said, as far as to promote the hobby, I said, but that's it. He said, okay. Fast forward, he ended up wanting to go into making his own movies. So he sold out to me, and I've tried to keep it the same way. And that's why we have the podcast now. But now, instead of just teaching people about varieties and errors, now we teach everything. So that's how I got into my series, which is varieties and errors. So I'm gonna bring everybody back up, and now it's open discussion, everybody. Okay, remember, I cannot unmute you guys. You gotta unmute yourselves.
You just unmuted me.
Well, I did, because I might have muted you, but I didn't want to hear you talk.
Yeah, when he mutes you, he can unmute you. But if you mute yourself,
yeah, David, you got to go up to the. There you go. You got it.
There you go, David.
Okay, so now we can take questions. Everybody, if you got any questions for anybody, feel free to ask them. Sorry, when I was talking, I did not read any of the questions. I was just paying attention to what I was talking about. So there we go.
Alrighty then.
But now, going on to your points about the varieties, Robert. Honestly, seeing all the different variations that are within a series is also something very interesting. For like Walking Liberties, for me and Nick, 1916 and 1917 had the obverse mint marks. What some people don't know during those times is that the thumb on Liberty's hand, the thumb was so much shorter. And over the years, until like 1921, 23, the thumb eventually got to the length that we know. And there are all kinds of little details, little variations, varieties that you can really study from in all these different series.
Well, I agree with you. To me, that's what I find interesting. That's why I actually like a lot of the earlier date things, because a lot of them were hand engraved. And so there's always a variety from one die to the next, which was to me very good. But when you think about them, go back into the early 1800s, guys, and you look at those coins, for the most part, you can't tell the difference. But, and this is why I really do respect, and I mean, honestly, I do respect Brad with the die marriages for the bust material, because I understand, I know a lot about it. When I say I know a lot about it, I understand what it took to make them dies, so I can appreciate him going in. It's just, if it wasn't for the technology back then, ain't no way in hell you couldn't do that today for the most part.
Well, Frank just asked a question. Are you able to put the questions up, Robert, or is that beyond your ability?
I can.
All right. So the cap bust half dollars, 1807 to 1836, currently have 453 known die pairings for the series. And you can use the Overton book to identify them. And I've accumulated 445 of the 453. So I'm still scratching around for the last few. 3 of them are proof only issues that we don't consider necessary to complete the set. So if you get the 450 circulating pieces, you're considered complete. But there are 3 more out there that are actually cap bust half dollars, and they were specially made in the 1830s during the time of the King of Siam set. So you'll find one of the 1834 halves from that era, the special issues in the King of Siam set. And then with the, there's another, I don't know, 50 or 60 drape bust half dollars. There are 120 some half dimes, 120 some dimes. The quarter series is, I think, 60 or 70 coins. So I'm looking for 1,000 die pairings to complete all of my sets, I guess. Yeah, Floor, you find me one of those. It would be very nice.
So how many on the panel received the flowing hair medal from the U.S. Mint this week?
There's a resounding
That's
one.
a good question. I was watching stuff about that.
We got one.
Mm-hmm. And then there's like,
did you open it, David?
Pardon me, Brad?
Did you open it?
I did.
Okay, so you didn't get one of the privy marks?
Yeah, privy marks. That's what I was going to say.
He got it. I could tell he got it, old stinker.
No.
I wish.
I'm not
I wish,
sure.
Nick. I know your friend. Your friend did silver.
There you go, David. Right there. Stop right there.
Yeah, stacking.
For stacking surfer.
I'm not sure I want privy marks on my coins. Those brown splotches are very unsightly.
Really? Okay.
What? So I got one as well. Mine's upstairs. I didn't think to bring it down. No privy. So I'm calling the U.S. Mint and telling them they're fired. Again, I had boycotted the U.S. Mint for a couple of years now. I wasn't buying any new products from them. I decide to, and then they disappoint me already. But I wasn't pleased with I was pleased with the packaging somewhat. I mean, it's better than it has been. I thought the packaging is much better than it has been, really. But I didn't like how it was shipped to me. It was just in a regular envelope where my box was squished. Was yours the same way, David? But then I saw other people's too where it was shipped in a box.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
More important.
Because Daniel did a little discussion on it, from Coin Help You.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
So what did he say?
He was saying something about the box too, and he didn't get privy marks either.
Oh, so I mean,
well, privy mark was a 5% chance of even getting it, and then it's another 5% chance of that 5% chance to get the signature one.
Right. And then how many of those are going to actually come back 70s if you have them graded?
Exactly.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
good point, Nick.
thank
Good
you. I
point.
try. I try.
Do not grade modern coins.
I know, but people are going to do that to try to maximize their profits on these coins,
Yes.
Brad. You know that
That's
they
why
are.
they do it. That's why they do it.
Okay.
So,
It's not even a coin. It's
no,
a metal.
I'm sorry, it's a metal. There you go. It's a metal. It's not a coin. It's a metal. But no, I didn't get it, but I was disappointed in how mine was shipped to me.
There's a question for Robert.
Okay,
Yeah.
Freakin', my question to you is, with what you're saying there, you're saying that there's 11 different ones. Now, I don't know what you're picking about. However, is there a website that's got those differences showing them? Because I do know that there's a study that's been done on the reverse, the different dye varieties on the reverse for the accented hair versus the non-accented hair. So my question to you would be, is there any website that's got all 11 different varieties on there to see if it's significant enough for someone to take and collect them? That would be my question back at you, because I don't know if it's a thing or not. I don't know how strong and or weak it is. Hope that answers your question. Anybody else got questions? Ask away while you can.
Yep.
The flowing hair is the design is prettier. I think a little.
I mean, I think it looks like I think it's a very handsome metal. I mean,
It is a gorgeous design. I went to Coin Club on Tuesday, and a couple of people had them to show, and yeah. It's a beautiful metal.
It is a
really
beautiful metal, but it's handsome. I mean, come on, look at the neck. It looks like it's a. Help me out here.
It's a
The
woman
neck
from
always
the,
looks bad, Nick.
it's a woman from the
masculine.
18th century.
I
It's a
prefer my
masculine.
$17.95 half dollar and fine that has that head on it.
Huh?
I said I prefer my $17.95 half dollar in fine condition.
Oh, I bet you do.
Displaying that head instead
I'm sure,
of.
but it was a very handsome, very, very masculine neck.
It always is. It always is on all of them.
If they need a flowing hair model next time, I'm available, US Mint. Seriously, it won't be so masculine.
Good job.
Yeah, but the top of your head will float off of the coin.
Error and variety right there for you.
There you go. You tell him.
Did you say an airhead variety?
No error.
Oh, okay.
I heard her fine. So did you.
Well,
anyway, the necks
Don't
all
listen to
look
them, Nick.
bad. They all look bad, Nick. Even on
Yeah.
the Cat Blast, she's got
ACA
a fat neck.
fan. Pay attention. We got a question there, B. Come on.
oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll shut up.
Yes,
No, you
many
need to shut
people
up.
do. In fact, I have a fair collection of Mexican cobs, and I have customers that also look for many different kinds of worldwide coins. Not quite as many as look for the U.S. I always have a blonde moment when Nick's around.
Oh, jeez.
Well, Ronald picked up on it. I'm sorry. It's just.
Ah, jeez.
I'm glad I could help.
Yeah, tell him.
Hey, Robert.
Yes.
Could I maybe give a piece of advice? This would be to all collectors out there. Don't make some of the mistakes I did. If your goal is to complete a collection, maybe take a peek at what the prices are for a certain type of coin before you go head or heels into that series. I made that mistake. There's some Morgans I'm never going to own. I'll be honest. So just take a peek at the values before you maybe dive into it. Thank you.
That's great advice, but that's something I did do with my walkers. I realized that I could collect that whole entire set affordably.
That's why
But
she
then
said it.
Yeah, and then I also realized too that I could do it affordably, and then I can really do it on the very, very high end as well. So when I started, though, it was on the lower end. And then as I upgraded, and my set is a much nicer set now. But that was something I did research as well, that was something that I could do and something I could do easily.
So you're still looking for a Mint State 21D?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I can afford that. Mint State. Well, depending on how Mint State.
I'll see when they come back from the grading service.
What? Okay. Tell me the story.
No, I'm not going to tell you the story yet. The story is still unfolding.
Okay, so you found them in somebody's estate sale.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
They brought it to him.
He bought it. I was there. I seen it, and he paid a fair price for a dealer, and it's out getting graded. It's a nice coin, Nick, but you better be ready to pony up.
I'm sure, because I know how high,
Robert,
but I also know on the other end of them too, David.
Unless it's a different
Robert,
one that I didn't see.
That's not a coin you pony up for, Robert. You have to unicorn up for that one.
Well, okay.
Yeah, that's an investment.
Yeah, well, the one I seen, yes, I know it's gonna cost some do re mi, guys. That's
I'm sure in the maybe high.
But hey, about a month ago, I actually had a MS65 38D.
Wow. So
that was a gorgeous coin.
I bet it was a expensive coin.
Okay, ACA Fan Adventures asked about shipwreck coins. I have a number of shipwreck coins in my collection. They are legal to own because generally the salvage company and the country that owns the ocean there have a split deal. So they make it out onto the market. There's a company in Florida, Sedgwick Auctions, that specializes in cobs and foreign coins and shipwreck coins. And they're having an auction next month. There's quite a number of shipwreck coins available there. Robert, what are you showing there?
That looks like.
Is that a real shipwreck coin or a coin that was made out of shipwreck silver?
What's the difference?
You cannot see where it says Daniel Carr on it, but
no, I can't.
Okay.
That's why I was asking. Sorry. Okay.
How's that there?
That's much better. There you go. Okay, so Nick asked what the difference was. So when they find the treasure and they bring it up, some of the silver is so saltwater damaged that you cannot
corroded.
Yes, you can't read it anymore, or they find bars. And there are some companies that take this silver and what they really do is add it to more silver. So maybe 1% of the silver in the tokens they make is actually shipwreck silver.
Oh, then that's not fair.
Yeah, I know it's not fair, but they make reproductions out of that silver.
But it only is 1%? You said
I don't know the whole thing, but not all of it is shipwreck silver because it's the shipwreck silver itself is valuable. You know, you can get 2 or 3 times the silver value for a bar. You want some Mel Fisher treasure, so buy an Atosha coin. You can get a nice Atosha 8 reale for probably $2,000 to $3,000 range. You know, something that doesn't grade nearly as nicely for, you know, maybe $1,200 to $1,400. So,
okay, Brad, real quick, that Atosha that I said was Daniel Carr's.
Yes,
that's silver that actually came from the Atosha, and he took and he bought a large bar of silver. It got melted down, and as anyone and everyone knows, Daniel Carr is such a good artist, die maker. That's silver that actually does come from the Atosha, but yes, it is a Daniel Carr's reproduction of an actual cob. However, the silver does come from the Atosha.
But there are some companies that'll only put a percentage of the silver. They'll take a little bit of silver, add it to a big vat, and say this piece was made with silver recovered from the Atosha.
Well, that's
Not
kind of cheating if they're just
100%
putting a little bit. That's
Yeah.
kind of cheating.
I
It
don't
is.
think Daniel Carr would do that. Only
I
from,
know I didn't say Daniel Carr. I said there are other companies that have done that.
well, right, and I agree with that. Which, by the way, this one here is a signed Daniel Carr. So here again, I've collected a few Daniel Carr pieces. One being the peace dollar, the other being this Atosha. That's the only two pieces I've gotten from Daniel Carr. So I just took and I just to be honest with you, I think it's a neat piece because I can't afford the $3,000 like Brad was talking. So I thought, you know what, for about $150, I got me a nice. You can visualize it very well as you just seen, and it is from the Atosha. So there you go.
ACA fan, how old is coin collecting?
When was Caesar?
There were coin collectors before the time of Christ.
That's what I said.
Judas.
Almost since the time the first coin was made, somebody was hoarding them or stacking them.
Yeah.
But systematic collecting, probably, I would think we probably have to get into the 200-300 BC at the would be about. I can't give you an exact example, but
Well, I know anecdotally they say Julius Caesar was the first coin collector, but I mean there has to be somebody before him. So
Exactly.
that's right around the turn of that millennia.
Well, I don't know about coin collecting, but I do know that counterfeiting started the day after the first coin was made. Prove me wrong.
Yep. And clipping off pieces of it.
That did actually happen, I believe, in Roman times. I believe that's when that is known to have been happening. Now, did it happen before then? It could have, but I do know it was documented during the Roman times because the Romans were the one who did it, the actual government themselves.
I think that's why they put in the center what type of coin it was in the center back then, because they got clipped from the outside in.
I don't know.
So, well, yeah. in its purest form, what is a coin?
Metal.
Depends on the era.
Precious metal. Precious
Depends
metal.
on the era.
Not necessarily. No.
No,
in its purest form, a coin is a easily transferable, guaranteed amount of bullion.
Payment.
That's how coins started. So instead of having a silver bar that had to be weighed and assayed, the Athenians are, before that, a medium of exchange. Yes. But a guaranteed medium of exchange. So, for example, the Athenian owl, everybody knew that Athens guaranteed the weight and the fineness of those discs. And that's how they became easily tradable. So on site, everybody could see what it was. And then, like Robert said, then there were people that made lead ones that they silver plated, but then they found out ways to figure that out. But in its purest form, a coin is a easily transferable, guaranteed piece of bullion.
Identifiable. Okay. It's identifiable. Yes. Yeah.
I would like to take and sort of challenge that in the fact only in approximately from now, and somebody may correct me on a date here, but approximately 700 AD, Taiwan, China, they were taken, and China was supplying Taiwan at the time, it was part of China, with coinage. The money had become so unvaluable, nobody trusted in it. I consider it the medium of exchange that is recognized. However, the Taiwanese people did not trust the money from China, and they started using porcelain tokens, and they were gambling tokens in Taiwan, but they held, people trusted them more so as a medium of exchange, all the way up to the point to where China had to come in and they told the entire population, we catch you using it, off with your head, basically. And that's how they had to end it, because they could not get that exchange to end. So money is something that basically, I mean, what are we going to do when they come with the what is it, CDBC, CBDC, whatever the hell it's called? It's just I like the medium of exchange. It's what people agree. For the many millennials, it was precious metals. Oh, I wanted to get the last question that AC said right there. Last question. Why is coin collecting so popular? Anybody?
Yeah, it's popular from ancient times because it was a storehouse of value, for one. So collecting and stacking were kind of the same. You know, people, if they collected the older coins, they were still made out of precious metal in most cases. So it was not only a collection but a storehouse of value.
It's why does anybody collect anything? Baseball cards or, American Girl dolls. I mean, there's a vast variety of collections,
But also it is available to everybody. It is used
every
by
day.
everybody at that time. It was something that you would interact with every single day.
Remember, at one time, coin collecting was considered the hobby of kings, because only the kings, queens, nobility could afford to collect coins. Now it may just be, I remember that for a time, guys, potatoes was rejected by an entire society until I believe one of the kings took and said, I want you to plant a potato and I want it to be guarded 24 hours a day. Nobody's allowed to eat it but nobility. And that's how they got an entire society to accept potatoes.
It's the same thing with a lobster almost. I mean, lobsters were the poor man food. And then you have a Rockefeller come to Bar Harbor, Maine and saying, I want us to feast on these. And then it became to where it was for the rich. I mean, so to speak, but it was the poor man's food. That's what they fed, people of poverty. So, and now nobody can afford it.
There you go, Brad. That's for you.
Well, shipwreck coins are valuable because people want them. Supply and demand. They're made out of precious metal in most cases. And because of the historic context of the particular ship, they have more value in some cases than others.
There's a cool factor to those. I mean, there is a cool factor to the shipwreck coins, and pirates, the whole thing. I mean, there's stuff.
Yeah, if you're just sold on having a shipwreck coin, the El Cazador shipwreck from the Caribbean, you can get a very identifiable 8 reale from that from the 1780s for $150 to $200. Tosha pieces are earlier; they're more popular. They're really hot right now, so they're a couple of thousand for nice ones. $1,200 probably for not so nice ones.
Sticks are fire.
the 1715 plate fleet is another relatively affordable one because it was multiple ships that went down. Yes, Frank, they have most of them have environmental damage or have been conserved in order to make them collectible again. So you can sometimes pick out a shipwreck based on the look of the coin. Some shipwrecks have a unique look to the coins that are recovered from them.
They're black in color, usually black.
Not all the time. The El Cazador, like I said, after they've been conserved, the El Cazador are more of a aluminum foil kind of look, for lack of a better way of putting it. Some of them have almost a grayish, not sandy, but specific tint to them. So there's before they've been conserved, a lot of them are black or green, and you can still buy greenies or clumps of black and green encrusted ones. So they're all out there.
David, you had mentioned your grandchildren. Are they into coin collecting? Are they taking interest in the hobby?
Yes, ma'am. As a matter of fact, ACA fan is in the chat. That's my grandson.
Oh, well, hi there. Okay.
Well, hey, cool.
Oh,
That's very cool.
No school today.
No school today. How come?
Probably another teacher's conference.
In service day.
yeah.
Well, what grade is he or she in?
Riley, help me out.
Come on, Grandpa.
I want to say he's a junior in high school.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Wow, David, you're a
That's
lot older
fun.
than you look.
Well, thank you, Brad.
Well, then there you go. 11th grade.
Yeah. So he's
Well,
15, 16. 15,
and he's had some
16.
great questions come through. And this whole time it's been your grandson. Oh, neat.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
So, ACA, have you given any thought to going to a summer seminar at the ANA? You're getting pretty old. You might not have much of a chance left to get that really good YN deal. You can basically go for free.
That's a good thought, Brad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So is he a member of the American Numismatic Association?
No, but I am.
Okay, well, get him a membership and get him into the YN program. And I think he's got a couple of years left that he can go and basically attend the ANA summer seminar for free. They have plenty of scholarship money that he can
There's
earn.
a lot of scholarship, yep.
And get in. Yeah.
And just an idea, Robert, but to have him on as a guest, if he was willing to come up with David, because I would like to hear what the young people are interested in and maybe how we can get other young people interested in the hobby.
Does he live close to you, David?
About 3 miles away.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
nice.
you get him on the program here
close.
soon, one of these days.
Yeah, you're both welcome. I'd be happy to let you guys both on. That would be absolutely phenomenal. The one thing that even more, well, I can't say more than Brad because that's a lot of people, but I enjoy taking in kids. I mean, getting kids involved, that's very important to me.
Yes. So, and if he has any friends that are interested too, have them all in the chat. Let's talk. They have some great.
Start a coin club.
I'll be the head of it.
Look, ACA, if
All right.
Grandpa's too cheap to buy you a membership to the ANA, let me know. I'll get you.
I bet he would too.
Oh, come on.
I'll take care of that.
No, it's a fantastic program. So if there are any other young numismatists out there or people that have young numismatists in their circle, join the ANA, get involved in the YN program. It's very simple. There's a few steps that you have to go through, but you can earn a scholarship to go to the summer seminar. So the scholarship includes airfare.
Wow.
It includes room and board. It includes tuition. The only thing that you need money for is the library book sale. And that is an event all in its own. But going out to the summer seminar is an unbelievable chance for the kids. And they meet them at the airport. There's chaperones there. They put them on a bus. They take them back. In the time that they're not taking classes that they've chosen to take on numismatics, their free time is taken up by preparing an auction from donated lots. So people donate the lots. The YNs make up the auction. They have an auction there to raise money for the next year's scholarships. And they are busy the whole time there, writing auction descriptions and putting the coins in holders and preparing them for sale, running the auction the night of the sale. It's really an event.
And
Now,
I'm sure
the adult,
Brad will give you some money for those books.
the adults that haven't been to summer seminar, you should really plan it out for a year, spend the money and go out once. There are other organizations, a few of them left that still will do scholarships, but spend the money to go to summer seminar. It is an event, and you'll make friends that you'll have for the rest of your life, and you'll get to learn a lot of really neat things about numismatics from some of the leading authorities in the United States and really the world.
So we see that he's interested in shipwreck coins. What other coins is he interested in? Hi, Weaverman. Yes, OC, I agree. More so from Brad because we know he can afford it. But
I offer to pay kids first year membership in ANA all the time.
I know, and I'm
all they have to do is come in, show an interest, and come in and prove to me that they joined.
I'm teasing you. I know you're very generous, but
just not with you.
Just not with me ever. I'm just teasing you.
Okay. So your grandson's interested in proof coins
or varieties.
19th century proof coins? Or is he just doing 20th century so far?
I think 20th century.
Okay. Does he have a job?
Not yet.
Well, he's in high school, so my daughter didn't have a job in high school either.
I worked at the coin shop.
Well, I'm sure you did, Brad, but my daughter was playing ball and, you know.
I mean, Nanny was playing ball.
What did you play? Soccer?
With myself?
No, in high school. In high school, I didn't. I was, Robert, I didn't hear what you said, but I know it wasn't nice.
Good.
In high school,
yes.
I played on. I wrestled. I played on the tennis team, and I worked.
Busy.
Right. I could use a lot less affection then.
Hold it. The school fishing team. I've never heard of that before. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, here, Brad, the different high schools actually have teams that compete fishing, and they'll compete against different schools. So
is that bass fishing?
You name it.
Okay.
Muskie, northern pike, walleye.
If you don't mind,
panfish.
what state are you in, David?
I'm sorry?
What state are you in, if you don't mind me asking?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Okay. They do the same up here. The fish and wild game up here. They do the same.
But are they teams or
Mixed
are they
generally
clubs?
in the state of confusion?
Are they teams or clubs? You guys, there's clubs in high school.
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. B. So
because we had all sorts of clubs in high school, all kinds of clubs that were
up here. It's a contest in the summertime for the kids that go to fish and game camp, and they have to clean out their own fish. And my daughter got the biggest rainbow trout one year.
They got to
For
cut them up
everybody
and
out there
everything.
interested, I've got the ANA showing the different things for YNs.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yep, right there in the middle of the screen. Thank you.
Super cool.
Thank you,
man.
Robert.
And the ANA has programs for YNs that they can enter to win coins also. So they can get coins for A's. They can also do other things, and they get YN dollars that they can use to spend on real coins in closed YN auctions. So there's a lot of opportunities for youngsters through the ANA.
All of this activity that I'm showing is for YNs, everybody. Now this here gets into other items down here. However, you got your the U.S. Mint for Kids trivia, the Money Museum, which is really fun. And then they've got the different videos and things, everybody. The ANA gives you your benefits. This here is from the Florida put a link, and it's
it's money.org.
money.org. And this is for the YN right here, grades K to 12. You can become a member. So there you go, guys. Yeah, I just wanted to pass this on, and it is very good. So there you go.
Super
RLC
cool.
asked about fly fishing earlier. I haven't been able to find any of those really, really little hooks that'll fit in a fly's mouth. Sorry.
Hey, Robert.
Yes.
I have a little bit of news. Blue, you know about this already.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Go ahead.
When you were at the Sharonville show, and Brad, you were there, Abe Lincoln was there.
Yep.
Well, this came out at Numismatic News. His name is Dennis Boggs. He received an award from the ANA. He's a celebrity, look-alike Abraham Lincoln. He travels coast to coast to bring the story of America's 16th president to audiences of all ages. He averages 250 performances a year. His presentations at ANA conventions provide a popular historical context for numismatics. He received one of 5 exceptional individuals award, a 2024 Glenn Smedley Memorial Award. These people are highly involved hobbyists, demonstrate positivity, cooperation, dependability, and strong communication skills. Thank you.
If you've never had the opportunity to see Mr. Boggs, and you do have that opportunity, seize it. He's wonderful. And when he comes to Cincinnati, we go out to dinner. We take him to a local restaurant, and he goes in costume, and he never really breaks character. Yeah. So there'll be people there at the restaurant that start asking him questions, and he just keeps right on going. And just you get him into a conversation, and he'll just his knowledge of Lincoln and his times is amazing. It's just a really, really great experience. I've shared bus rides with him back and forth at fun and different times. So
was Abe Lincoln by or not?
I'm sorry?
Was Abe Lincoln by or not?
Wow.
I'll tell you, this is getting really sad. I'm the sane person here. Come on.
Well, there's
Nick,
a new movie. There's a new
what
movie.
kind of a question is that, Nick?
There's a new movie out that talks about this.
All back. Yeah, there's also Abe Lincoln, a zombie hunter or vampire.
I will never
hunter
watch the zombie hunter, but I do want to know: was he sharing his bed with his friend or his boyfriend?
his foot.
Oh my gosh.
moving Mary Todd.
Oh,
but
Dave
hey,
wants to know if you want to talk about Arnold Palmer next.
Who's that? He's a golfer.
Oh,
Arnold
I would
Palmer is the
prefer-
golfer.
He's a
I
golfer, and
prefer
there's also a
Arnold's
nice
nipple.
teammate after him, right? A drink.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
it's iced tea. It's an iced tea.
Iced tea and
Right.
lemonade, right? A mixture.
yes. Yes.
Arnold
good.
Palmer. No booze.
So we're world.
Right, I don't
We
drink.
know what goes in an Arnold Palmer
Iced tea. Brad, I just said that.
and lemonade.
Lemon.
But no.
Oh, lemon, not lemonade.
Lemonade.
No, lemonade.
Well, you can muddle lemons too. Muddled lemons. I'm
No,
a
that's
bartender,
different. That's-
Brad.
no,
Come on.
No, stop.
I believe B.
It's true.
And what are and what's the perfect mix of iced tea and lemonade for an Arnold Palmer?
It's like 3/4 iced tea and 1/4 of lemonade.
I like 60-40.
Can you? I mean, is that on a
I like
Palmer?
yours better,
You're like
B.
gonna,
Not
say
a different
60-40?
He would not know. He would not know. It's how you
He
pour
said, B,
it.
I like your way better. I've had it many, many times because I like Arnie Palmer's. So
That's what they call him.
Yep.
Arnold Palmer. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
a
even-
Presbyterian.
Even Paul is shocked today.
Why? Is she shocked? About?
Well, I mean, that's the new thing
Oh,
lately that they're trying
No,
to
it's not the new thing.
Yes, it is.
I've
It
never
is.
heard of it.
It's
Yeah.
been being talked about a lot lately. Yes. And please don't have to make me go look at my research and to show you because it is the truth. It has been questioned. Where did I see it? Barnes and Noble. Yes.
Yeah,
books.
thank you.
I don't really give a
There
crap.
we go. He's got one.
Those are made for Brad, not for Nick. Not for Nikki. Those are for Brad. David?
Who had the first BS card?
Yeah, maybe.
Brad.
That's right. And who did I use it on?
I don't remember.
Nick.
Oh,
Some
me?
blonde airhead.
Me?
Yes.
I don't remember on the first one you used it on.
Yes.
Yes, you were Nick. Or yeah, Nick. You had that privilege. I must admit. Sorry. Well,
Yeah, Frank, I agree with
Brad,
Frank.
but
Hollywood-
Brad, to be fair, you are the first one that she gave the eye roll to. So there
Well,
you
that's
go.
okay.
That's that. And I don't know. I have made a conscience effort
That's all, folks.
not to eye roll today. Have I done my job?
I thought I just seen it, but okay.
Oh shit! Ooh,
Oh yeah, and who needs to be censored today? Okay,
you.
Robert, put her on mute.
I mean, I was no Robert first though because he was talking about Brad in high school. that was the first cringy moment of the program today.
But he never
I
heard it.
missed the good
Nick.
part. Robert, you'll have to tell me tomorrow how you got me. Let's see.
Okay, well,
Oh.
I did hear about. Did you guys hear about the numismatic crime in Arizona, Glendale, Arizona?
No, Nick, what happened?
Okay, well, if you don't forget it, never mind. I just
No.
thought that was one of the neatest ones that you didn't bring up.
Well,
Crime
bring
is
it up,
neat.
Nick. Go for
Okay.
it.
Okay, it was let me see. It was a business that reported a significant loss with PCGS and NJC holders in high value. The suspects gained entry by cutting a hole in the roof of the adjacent empty business. Once in the adjacent
Dave,
empty
she knows
business, huh?
Go ahead. Sorry,
What? You already hear this?
I'm going to mute myself. I'm sorry.
What did he say?
Go ahead. I didn't hear him. Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, well, I guess they cut holes into the sheetrock and between the two businesses, and they gained access into the safe this way, and they stole a lot of the coins. So
You know what,
There you
Nick? I seen that, and now that you mention it, I seen that, and that Brad, that comes from your boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean,
And Nick, look at Shadrach at 420. They sent you something. So there you go. You can use it anytime you feel the necessary.
Thank you.
Yes, that has been the new MO now lately, is to break into the business next to a coin store and cut into the back of someone's safe.
I thought
I
that
know
was
where that
He's
happened
right.
firsthand at one time.
They go through the
I-
ceiling and the walls. They go through the
well, and that's
ceiling.
what I remember. Brad had.
Wall.
I recall him talking about something to that effect, and I was surprised when I saw that this was actually happened on 1010. I didn't think that would happen in today's time with all these ring cams and cameras and all this, all these other stuff that Big Brother everywhere.
Well, they're so brazen nowadays. I mean, yeah, they don't care.
Yeah. Because of the laws.
Everyone says our economy is doing wonderful, but yet it seems like the theft have went up considerably here lately.
But are thieves stupid when they actually steal like PCGS and NGC graded slabs? Because they usually have them the numbers somewhere.
What makes them stupid, Nick, is when they do not crack them out, which I don't want to say much about it. But yeah.
Oh, I see what you. Yeah, okay. I never thought about that. Yeah, but you know that there's some of them that are stupid enough that want to have that grade on there, Brad, to show that it's a high dollar coin and they're going to sell it as such. So don't even look at me like that. Like they're not. Some of them aren't going to, break them all out. Or I guess they could resubmit them.
Brad, you're on self-mute.
No, leave it. Leave it.
Yeah,
leave
Brad, you muted yourself, Brad.
Good. Let's leave it. I like the program a lot better with him muted.
All right, fine.
Anyways, I thought that was a neat. Well, it's not neat, and I don't want to see anybody robbed. But I was surprised this day and time that they're so brazen still to go between buildings and do all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's like
just to give an answer to this question for ACA Fans Adventure, that's probably a very, very difficult question to get an answer for. Two reasons. One, not everybody wants to give out how much they have in collections. And two, they're only worth whatever somebody's willing to pay. That's my take on it. Somebody else wants to take on it, go for it.
100% true. Yeah.
Yes, Adam Jam, do not disclose.
Yeah. How much you have ever to anybody. Nobody. It's not like
these are all just empty books behind me. I mean, yeah, this is just knowledge.
It's a green screen, right?
Now, Brad has 3 stores, so
I was having a headache, that's why I didn't.
But everything Brad has is for sale.
On the chat.
He's a coin shop owner, so everything.
It's all for sale.
He sells everything. I would too if I owned a shop. I would sell everything. Why not? That's what you're in business for.
Oh.
What was that? I was trying to read that one. Really, Ronald? Wow.
Well, I'm not getting any from you today, Brad.
Yes, sticks. And that's the story, and we're sticking to it.
Yeah, my guns were right next to him, too.
And all the bullion.
Yeah.
Guns, I don't know. We don't own any of those.
You can unmute yourself, Brad. Thank you.
What, Nick? You live in a backward state like that and don't have any personal protection?
I don't have any personal protection.
Oh.
Nor ammo. None.
That's something you're not supposed to tell other people either.
I don't have any.
Liar.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, though, my house, I'll just tell you this, though, and we have a sign outside that says my house is not protected by ADT. It's protected by Smith & Wesson. So you can come
Right
on and
on.
try. Come try, and you're going to meet my 38. Just warning you.
Oh, so
Right
you're
on.
38.
It's
One of the
not
most useless rounds in the world.
It's not that big, but it's a girl gun.
It's a
Stop
girl
it,
thing. I
Brad.
can throw it in my bag wherever I am. I throw it in my bag. I throw it in the. I throw.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, you want me to get the semi-automatic 8K whatever 57 that he's got over there?
I just have one simple question I'd like to ask you. When's the last time you actually fired it?
When's the last time? 2 weeks ago, Saturday.
Okay.
I believe her.
Enough said. All right. That's fine.
I have to go to the range quite often because the more I go to the range, the better shot I am, number one. But
That's right.
the more comfortable I get with loading and unloading, and he makes me do that with all the guns that we are just a couple.
See, now you just proved that you were a liar before.
Well, so he'll in this, yeah, I do challenge.
It takes one to know one, Brad.
Yeah. And I have to load the cartridge, and then I can.
Okay, ACA fan. Well, hold on. How many grading companies or organizations are out there? There are a lot, but there's probably only 4 that you should pay attention to. That would be ANAX, NGC, PCGS, and CACG. So,
and the last one is the one Brad would prefer you.
I gave them an order of importance from least to most, in my opinion.
You didn't specify that first.
I just did. Well,
Nick did for me. Thanks, Nick.
Okay.
Welcome.
Oh, she keeps it in her coin purse. Okay, I understand now.
No, as far as organizations, there's organizations all over. You can find a local coin club. You can find a statewide club. And as we've been talking about the ANA, that's the National Coin Club. So, I mean, there's organizations for special type of coins. So, I mean, if you're really into seated liberties or barbers, there are entire societies that are just based off of those types of coinage. John Reich Journal, yep. For your early collectors, there's anything to fit a niche. So it's all up to what you like collecting.
You might even know somebody who is the editor of the John Reich Journal.
I know somebody.
I don't know no one.
You don't know no one?
I don't know no one.
You want to tell us, Nick?
Brad.
Woohoo!
What do I win?
He is. Oh boy! Well,
my undying
gratitude. When that
gratitude.
company goes down, we'll all understand.
Oh.
And if you have any questions, I'm sure your grandfather knows a lot as well, but Brad will answer your questions too. He's good about that.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, and let me just take the moment, if you guys don't mind. I would like to thank David so much for the help he's given our channel just when we have our sales night. Thank you very much, David, for jumping in and helping. You're doing a wonderful job, by the way, and I appreciate it very much. But you do a great job, and you have a lot of knowledge, so thank you.
Oh, you're certainly welcome, Robert. Hey, Nick, I just wanted to show you. This is what my medal came in.
Yes. Mine as well. And I was surprised. Were you?
I expected a cardboard box.
It looked like they spared no expense in getting a 39-cent.
I was same, but then I also saw some that did come in. I saw some, unboxings that did come in a cardboard box. So I was
But-
disappointed.
I'm going to say real quick, I know for a fact that my wife, Flordelina, probably packages better than they did for that particular coin.
Yeah, they did, because it wasn't even secure in there. I mean, it was moving all around. I mean,
Everybody complains about it. I love the way she packs them.
no, I love to. I never
I-
much.
Oh, no,
David,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
She's top notch packer.
Yes, she
I
is.
agree.
Because you can't tell what's in it.
But Brad, one thing I'm going to say is the packaging of this is
Yeah.
really top notch. Would you agree, Nick?
I would. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect that from the U.S. Mint, from the packaging we have been seeing lately.
Mhm.
So I was pleasantly surprised. I was with the box. I felt it was sturdier than it has been in the past. I thought the shell, the claw, the lobster claw thing was even.
Clamshell.
Yeah, there you go. Clamshell. I felt like that was sturdier, and even taking the coin out was a lot harder than it has been. I mean, used to, you'd find we'll say the Morgans came out in the packaging and moving around.
Well, some of them, yeah, you have to take out the entire package in order to get the coin out of it. It's like Fort Knox.
Yep. So I was pleasant. What about you, David? Were you surprised and
Yes. Some of them a year or two ago, just they were plastic with some fuzz on them and then the
Well-
coin was punched into the box, and that was it. I thought this was outstanding.
So let me ask you guys the question. Does it jiggle? Did it jiggle?
No, it did not. That's what I was
No.
pleasantly surprised
Okay,
about.
is that what
No.
you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah, because in times past, in some of the Morgans, I could hear it before I
You hear
even
them jiggling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
The
had
cap-
boxes
some of
completely
the-
opened.
Sometimes the capsules would be opened, even with some of the Morgans. I was pleasantly surprised. I felt like it was sturdy. I felt even the outer, the everything was just good. I just thought it was great. But again, in my packaging, my box did get squished a little bit.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Only because of the packaging. But I mean, as far as the envelope, not the mint packaging, but it was because of the envelope it was in.
Yeah, they sent it bulk rate. Are you still there, Brad? Okay, just
Yeah.
checking. Just checking.
Brad, I got one for sale if you want to buy it. My flowing hair metal.
Oh, I'm paying $50.
No, for you. I mean, because I think they are sold out now. $250 for you. That's a deal. That is a deal.
Yes, that's a bad deal. Bad Nick. Bad Nick. Well,
I
I'll
have
wait.
heard-
One will float in at the shop sooner or later.
I
Yeah,
have
he
heard
knows
that
it.
people were going to return. I know this is don't take this advice, you guys, but I have heard a lot of people were going to start returning theirs because they didn't have the privy. What do you guys think about that?
I think
Childish.
that
childish.
and plus
Yeah.
the fact that
I agree.
I think if that happens, the mint should take them off of the list. There
There
was
you go.
Let's see, when the 2008 W Silver Eagle, the burnished ones,
Mhm.
when they discovered that some of them were made with the 07 reverse, I know a dealer who ordered a huge order of the 08s, opened them up, took out the 07 reverses and returned the rest. It was not me.
That's not right.
It was
Well-
not me, but I got one.
I see. So I did check mine because I have two of those, but I did not have one.
So ACA says, wants to know where to get coins. And somebody suggested holding up Grandpa. That's probably the best place. But beyond Grandpa's collection,
I was going to say, look behind
That's
Grandpa.
not
and
nice.
you
Grandpa's
see, there's
right there.
the cigar boxes that are behind Grandpa right now.
Well,
and
Grandpa,
you can buy
I do
those.
see attends a couple auctions on YouTube that is a great place. You have Coin Op and you have the Durbans auction. Then you have Coins Making Sense on Wednesdays before the Durbans. I think in between the Durbans and Coin Ops. Is that correct? You're kind of like in between. What time does yours start, Kevin? It's at
Well,
5
Kevin does one too, yes.
on
Yeah.
Wednesdays, right? In between
Wednesday at
Cointalk and
6.
Durbin's. Yeah.
Wednesday at 6.
Yeah, and Durbin's start at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays.
And Coin-Op, you're at what time on Wednesdays?
I don't do Wednesday no more. We only do Monday and Friday.
Okay, my bad. Okay, so then you
No,
have
that's okay. That's listen,
Kevin.
no.
So you
I
have Kevin at
stopped
6 and then
Wednesdays,
the
and
Durbin's.
I'll be honest, I'm thinking about just going and sort of kind of doing it one day a week because I mean I just yeah.
It's a lot.
I've been known
It's
to
just a lot of work.
service a want
It's a
list
lot of
every now and
work,
then.
yeah.
Somebody will ask me if
Brad?
I have something they need.
Brad, you're on my bucket list, so I'm going to visit you.
Oh, phew. I thought maybe he was going to dump a bucket of something on me.
I wish you would, especially with him on top right now. He could just like, well,
Thanks, Nick.
bucket of slime.
But it depends on what you're looking for. You know, when you know what your specialty is or what you're looking for, then you tailor your search to that particular type of item. So there'll be certain dealers that either specialize or you get grandpa to take you to a coin show. That'll be a good outing for you.
Yeah. Be fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll
For
find
both you guys.
specific dealers that are going to have the specific things. So yeah, you're in
I can't
variety.
match
You're going to
that.
go to somebody like Robert. You're looking for U.S. or world coins. I mean, it's a specific market.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
Yeah, the one good thing about me is I tell everybody my varieties, I guarantee them 125% to be correct.
Well, you
I can-
literally edit the book.
Well, I helped. I did not edit it. Thank you, but I did not edit it. I helped. There was people that were, I mean, God, I could name some names of some people that John Roberts that works for A&A. He did the Morgan Dollars. He's one. Brian Rains, that's another one. Bill Fever, Larry Briggs. Man, I could start naming some names of some people that if you don't know them, you should know them, especially if you're into varieties.
Mhm.
Charles Manson, John Wayne Gacy.
Brad, we didn't talk about for bust collection.
Yeah.
We know how strange they are. I mean, that's why we got you on the panel for diversity.
There you go.
Nick, you're allowed to use the eye roll now if you'd like.
I was born a poor black child. Nick's not old
Steve-
enough to remember who. See,
Steve
Nick,
Martin.
that's a famous line from a comedian from years ago. You wouldn't know.
I do know.
Steve Martin.
He was a
Yeah.
part
Steve
of the
Martin.
Rat
Martin.
Very good. Thank you, B.
Rat
He's on
Pack.
top of things.
I'm a plethora of information.
No, he wasn't part of. He wasn't part of the Rat Pack.
Dean Martin wasn't? Yes,
Dean
Dean
Martin
Martin
was.
was.
Dean
That was
Martin,
not
yes.
Dean Martin's quote.
That's Steve.
Dean Martin's
Oh,
the Suave one. The Suave one with the dark hair, and he did stuff with the other guy. I can't think of his
Yeah,
name.
he was the one with the dark
Sinatra.
hair that was drunk all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve Martin.
Jerry-
Oh,
Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis.
Yeah. The arrow
Yeah, Steve
coming up.
Martin, cat juggling.
well, let me look him up because I think I might be getting them mixed up.
Oh yeah, Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah, he's
He had
much
white
different
hair.
than
We-
Dean.
We
Yeah,
just
why
had a
did
real
you-
blonde moment.
Whitish hair. He used to do Saturday Night
Oh my
Live.
gosh! Well, no, the reason why I had to figure that out is because he's on a new show that my daughter and I are watching right now, and it's really funny.
Steve Martin.
Hotel for Murderers.
Only Murders in the Building or something.
Yeah,
like
Only
that?
Murders in
Yeah,
the Building
Only
is
Murders in the
so
Building.
funny. I love it. And then the other guy that he's in there with.
Martin
Martin
Short.
Short.
Yes,
Martin
they're
Short.
so funny together.
Oh, wow.
And it's hilarious because you guys have to watch it. It's so funny.
And I would recommend the Three Amigos.
Three Amigos. Is that a movie?
Yes, it is from the 80s.
The Jerk was pretty good too. What O.C.
Yeah, the
Sacker
jerk,
said.
Steve
Well,
Martin.
that's where the line is from. That line was from.
Yeah, that's where the line is from. Yep. Yep.
Maven
I'm a big
Johnson.
time into comedy. Mhm. Have you seen Matt Rife? You need to see Matt Rife, Nick. He's good.
Who's
There's
that?
a lot of crowd work comedians. Now they're specifically doing crowd work, which is talking to the audience. That's cool.
Oh, will they interact? Yep.
We try not to talk to too big of an audience. Most of them are Michigana.
Don't say that.
What?
I'm not
Okay, guys.
Did you ever-
Hey,
did you
I
ever
like
have a
that.
problem?
now because we've only got what, about
20 minutes. Yeah.
a little
20
over
minutes?
15 minutes, and we're going to be getting
15
off of here, guys. So if you got coin questions, ask them now.
Yeah. Coin
And, yeah.
focus.
I don't care
people
if you want to
focus.
ask comedian questions. If you're just having a good time, have a good time. Continue on.
Yeah.
So-
So when I was doing, well, go ahead, Brad. You got.
After,
Oh,
after,
I have
after you,
something.
B.
I
After
was
you,
just
B.
going to talk about all the counterfeit coins with the peace dollar. There's a lot of them. I was kind of surprised, and I took notes on them. And there's a lot of varieties also, which I was pretty surprised. So unless you guys want to hear that boring stuff, I mean,
Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, the 1921 is worth money because it was there's only 7 known. 7 known. Business strike, satin finish for proofs, but it was high relief. And the high relief was the 1921 high relief was struck first and was replaced by the lower relief. But yeah, so there's quite a few counterfeit, which I was kind of surprised about that. So that's all I had to say about that. Go ahead. Go ahead, Bradley. Are you back? Oh, he's gone now. He thought he could take a. Oh, there he is. Chop, chop, Brad. What were you going to say?
I needed a short break. I'm sorry.
I received this in the
Did
mail.
you wash your hands?
Frank.
Oh, nice. There you go, Nick.
It won't do it. There you go. It's
That's a
Proof
Reagan one. Yeah.
It's a proof Reagan. It's a beautiful coin. Thank you, Frank. I just got this in the mail a week ago.
I remember when Frank got it.
I know, and it's so pretty. I love. Yes, Ronnie.
Mhm.
Ronnie Reagan.
Yeah, and the reverse proof presidential dollars. I mean, yeah, that's you don't see them very often. I mean, they only came in the Coin and Chronicle.
Exactly. Because I have one, but it was circulated, and I don't know why, but I have one. Ronald Reagan. Yeah.
Yep.
And Gerald Ford is hard to get also.
Proof 70.
Yeah, I have some of
Now,
those.
Oh,
HW
B got
Bush.
something too, Nick. B got something too. Frank is a giver.
Oh, yeah, Frank. Oh, by the way, Frank, I put it on a piece of leather because the string was.
Well-
You guys see it? Wait. I'm not real good with
No.
the camera either. Look at that, you guys.
What is
Isn't
that?
that neat?
Is that it's a butterfly or bee?
It's a bee, yeah, and it's silver. He made it. Isn't that neat? And
That's
this is the
beautiful.
little. This is like a little look. It's like a little charm type. Look at that.
That is so cool. He
Isn't
made
that sweet, Nick?
Yes, he made the
Yeah.
pendant as well.
He made the whole thing, as far as I know.
Frank, you're
I
so
put it on a
talented.
piece of leather because the chain that he gave me was so dainty.
And when
I'm
we gonna
not-
have Frank up too? Because he would be an interesting guest as well.
Oh, Frank would be fun. I love playing with Frank. I
That's
play with David too.
Oh.
And Kevin.
Look, B. Frank made that for
I
you
know,
out
so
of beach
cool.
trash.
It's so cool.
that is not trash. That one person's trash is another person's treasure.
That's
It's
something
there.
that's snobby, Brad.
Yeah.
That's a snobby
Thank
thing
you.
to say. Okay, just thought you might want to hear that. Wasn't very
It was
nice.
the silver goat that he gave. I mean, that was a massive.
Oh yeah.
That was massive, right?
See, I know guys that do that, Brad. Look at bikinis all day long.
Oh,
That is so true.
repurposed treasure. That's
God,
right,
that's-
Frank. I'm sorry. I missed.
I mean,
That's
seriously,
sad.
I
That's
would,
not
I
nice.
wouldn't throw anything away that I found on the beach. That,
Okay,
no.
what are coin slabs? There's a question. These are coin slabs.
Change the subject
So-
there, Brad.
A slab is a monkeyer for sealed coin container. So when
Coin protector.
coins are sealed in here, you send them away, you pay a fee to get an opinion of grade, and then they seal them in these holders. And somebody came up with the nickname slab in 1986, and it kind of stuck because we couldn't call them certified coin containers. That takes too much verbiage. So, but that's what a slab is. Trina, I don't know that the edge comes into play in coin grading for redness. I would say that it does not, as long as it doesn't come up over the edge and into the field. I think it would be just fine being called red, in other words.
This one's for Nick and or David, I would think.
I have not.
I have not either. I've heard of a few.
I've heard about it, but I mean, yeah, I have not seen it.
Have you? RLC? Not mine, Frank. No. I'll be quite honest with you. If I did have some milk spotting, I pretty much would be ticked.
Yeah.
That would be a reason for me to return one.
To return it. That's what I was thinking.
The problem is if you return it for milk spots, they don't have any to give you. So
that's right. That's
you're
right.
not going to have any.
But I would be okay without it because I didn't get the privy anyway. So I would be okay if they didn't.
You just get screwed no matter what.
But no, I would be a very
government.
because it wasn't cheap. It was $104 plus the shipping, depending on how quickly you got it to your home. And I think I did mine with the 2-day shipping, so it was $118 some odd. Wasn't cheap.
But Nick, you can. I think you're going to double your money if you look on Fleabay right now. You're probably going to double your money.
You think so?
Yes, ma'am.
Robert, there's a question for you, sir.
There you go.
I was actually thinking about giving that one over to Kevin. Kevin, you answer that one because I'll let you answer it.
All right. Well, hey, what makes a coin an error coin? Well, pretty much you have your regular example and it has the strike as you anticipate it. However, errors can happen when there is a problem with the die or if the planchet doesn't get seated in properly. And what can happen is you can get a clip. So you'll see like part of the coin is missing, or you'll see where parts of the die have deteriorated to the point where pieces come off and then there's like a blob of metal. That's called a cud. There are a lot of different things that can be considered errors. Now, errors are distinct from varieties. Varieties like the double dies and stuff like that, there's a distinction between the two.
Well,
thank you, Kevin.
Kevin, you kind of hit on two different things there. There are die errors and there are striking errors. They're both errors, but just a different class. A die error is in the die that makes the coin. So every coin that comes off of that die will look the same. Striking errors happen during the process of striking. So they're all going to be slightly different. No two are exactly the same.
Okay, I'm not certain I follow that, Brad, to be honest with you, but ACA Fan Adventures, just to give you an idea. Well, that's why I was about to specify what I'm about to, Brad. The reason I had Kevin go, and then I'm glad Brad did, to me, an error is non-repeating. It may be similar, but it's non-repeating. As Kevin says, a variety is something that can repeat, even though it's going to be literally minuscule amounts of differences, i.e., a double die will repeat, but quite honestly, if you look at it, your die is going to take and start wearing out, and the doubling is going to go away for certain class double dies, like a class 6 double die. However, it's still a true variety. This is my opinion. I say that because there's some wonderful people that, in my opinion, are much more knowledgeable than myself, like, Ken Potter, who totally disagree with what I'm saying. But I do respect his opinion. I just happen to think closer to what Kevin said, and actually Brad said it, but I think it was a little foggy in my opinion, because he's talking about striking varieties as opposed to, yeah, I don't know that I think that definition makes it a little hard to follow.
Okay, well, but Robert, a die error is a variety because it is repeating, as you said.
And that's where I think
it is an error in die production, which now is a variety in the coin.
So as you can see, there is no true definition. It's a matter of what your definition is.
And I think the definition, and like I said, I'm not saying that my answer is set in stone, no more than Brad's, no more than Kevin's. I think we can all agree that the definition is cloudy a little bit, and I really, well, if anybody brings a book out, I can show different books that ask the same question, and you'll get two different answers from the coin books. So, who has the right answer? Who has the wrong answer? I don't know. Maybe I'll take and maybe next time I'll ask AI to answer it. But I've tried that, and that don't work either.
Well, the description verbally makes more sense what you're saying. Verbally.
OC asked,
hold on, we can come to that. This is the first question. I wanted to answer that first, Brad, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead, if you'd like.
No, that's your answer.
Different in a row. Yeah, they are kind of.
Oh, well,
but
when rolls are made, would you think that depending on how the mint processes it, shouldn't it get 11 errors that are the same but a little different in a row? You could. I'm just going to say you could, especially on something. I have gotten varieties and errors both in rolls of coins. Now, you're talking to somebody, guys, who had a whole bunch of rolls of pennies that I bought several years ago. However, I know Brad would be the same, but I've had rolls that have had a lot of errors in them. I've had rolls that have had a lot of varieties in them. Both can be true. I have seen them both. So I hope that answers your question. Now, Brad, for you.
Okay, the new flowing hair metal. No, I have not had anybody ask for one yet. But if you're talking about a flowing hair coin, yes, I've had plenty of those over the years that we've sold.
So he and Stacking Surfer, they got I always call him Surfer. Is it Silver? I can't remember.
Silver Surfer, yeah.
Silver Surfer. Anyways, I always call him Surfer. But they did get the privy. They did the privy.
They did.
They did.
Yep.
So they're gonna have it graded. So if it's a MS, we'll say a 70. What do you think that could bring in, Brad? What kind of money are we talking?
I have no idea.
No idea.
No idea yet.
Sorry.
Currently, they're getting about 2,000.
Currently,
Okay,
an MS-70 is getting only what? 2,000
with the privy.
With
the privy, yeah, 2,000 to 4,000.
2,000 to 4,000. Okay.
Oh, brother.
All right.
Okay.
So that's only.
But that's today.
APA, to answer your question about that, if I'm understanding your definition, it would be called a blank planchet, a type 2 blank planchet. Type 1, there's no rim. Type 2, there is a rim.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they did. Yeah, I saw that
But-
Frostbite did as well.
But Robert, wanted to add on to your mentioning about the rolls and getting different varieties. Thing is I know now today when they're creating the rolls that are going out, the mint sends to the rolling companies huge ballistics bags with the coins in it. So it's not a matter of one coin coming out at a time going into a tube. It's a mixture of coins that are made over a time. So when wrapping that up into the rolls, you're getting some coins from a bunch of different times of manufacture. So that's why sometimes you get some errors, you get some varieties, and you can get a mix of both.
Okay, Kevin, what you just said is absolutely correct for modern day. It used to be, and I've got bags of them, but it used to be, everybody, that the mint would wrap all the pennies up in $50 bags. Brad will back me up on this, but they would wrap everything in $50 bags, seal them up, and they would send those to the banks. The banks then, in turn, would take them apart, and most banks, they would then take and roll them up. Usually, I believe it was at the level of the Federal Reserve Regional Bank. From there, they would send them out to the banks in boxes. And here again, same applies to what you said, Kevin. But you're right. The ballistic bags, I believe, are several tons where
But still, with $50 worth of coinage there, you still can get a little bit of a variety out.
Oh, absolutely. You're talking about. I've got one of these days I may open it live. I've got a bag of 1970 San Francisco Lincoln pennies, brand new bag, no stains on it whatsoever. And the beauty of it is it's got the date 1969 blacked out in 1970 down below. So that means it's an early die-state bag, which from everything that I know, now I'm going by a theory here because I've never opened it yet, but from everything I know, most small dates come out at the beginning of the years, and usually they will find mistakes like chips or, usually there's a problem because the date's a small date and they'll end up with problems, and then they will adjust it to go to a large date. So I don't know. I haven't opened it yet. I still own it. I've had it for 5 years, 6 years, something like that I bought it. So I plan on having fun. Maybe one day we'll open it together.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Okay, guys, it's that time. I'm going to take in Nick. We're going to start with you, sweetheart. So let everyone know how they can get a hold of you.
Tonight, we're going to be on the Coin Tribe channel. We're going to be doing a Toys for Tots auction. So we're going to be talking about that this evening. So tonight at 8.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick. And B, we're going to go with you ladies first.
Okay, thank you very much for everybody that came to the show. I enjoyed having David being at the show. It was a lot of fun, and I'm sure we can all learn from him. So I hope he comes back. And I had a good time. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Bye.
Okay, and we're going to take it right to David. David, you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself if you'd like, and just do your goodbyes. Go ahead.
Thank you, Robert. I had a good time today. You can reach me.
Close.
Here.
Up a little bit, just up a little higher. Right there you go. Perfect.
That's where I can be reached if you want to contact me. Thank you. I had a very good time today.
Thank you, David.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, thank you for coming on out, David. It was a pleasure having you up here. Having multiple points of view and multiple sources of knowledge, that's everything. This weekend, one of the coin shows that wasn't mentioned earlier by Brad, I am going to be at Livonia's Redford Coin Show this Sunday over in Livonia, Michigan. So hope to see anybody local over there.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. and Brad.
Thanks, everyone. Hope you learned a little something today. And since Nick didn't apologize for her potty mouth today, I will apologize for her.
Gosh.
We are very sorry you had to be exposed to that. I hope no youngsters were lost due to that. We will have her put a silver Walking Liberty $50 in the swear jar this week. Have fun. See you next week. And remember, next week is Halloween.
Uh-oh.
Okay, and thank you, everybody. We did have a good time. Thank you to David for coming over and joining the panel. I had a great time. David, you're welcome back anytime. And also for you in the chat, if you would like to participate, I would love to meet David's grandson and have him on the panel as well. I always like a bigger, better point of view. I'd like anybody out there, if you guys are interested and you'd like to be on the panel, let us know. Feel free to get a hold of us, and we'd love to see you. So, okay, we hope you had a good time. We hope you learned something. Tomorrow at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube's Corn Up, we're going to have a sale. So, hope to see you there. Guys, if you happen to be looking at coins between now and then, happy hunting. Good night, all.
At the end of the day.